before we get in the podcast, we just want to express our condolences to Ray Wilkins, his family and friends, and just say that we hope he's resting in peace. And a really, really great man to football has been lost, Chris.
Yeah, I mean, everyone that's sort of been speaking about him this week, not just about how good he was as a player, but how genuine he was and how nice of a man he was as well. He was only with us for a short spell, but by all accounts, I think Jack tweeted,
big fan of his.
Put a picture of on Instagram. I know that the likes of John Terry has been really affected by it as well.
Yeah.
Just a great player, great player on the pitch and a great man off the pitch, and he'll be sorely missed.
Yeah, I think so.
Sorely missed.
I think you can tell by the outpouring of love for him on social media and on the news and the sports news. I think everyone had a nice story about him, and he sounds like he was just a genuinely nice man.
In general, I think there'll be a lot of tributes for him this weekend. So I know we're going to wear black armbands, and there's going to be a minute's silence. But I think not just the teams that he played for, but I think all the clubs and all the teams and all the fans across the country will all feel the loss. So very sad news.
Really, really sad. He was of no age, really.
61, I mean, no age.
Should have had some good years ahead of him. So really, really sad time for football and for his family and friends. So we'd just like to express our condolences and please rest in peace, Ray. I'm going to be honest, don't really know what I'm doing.
He was often a player that I would buy on Football Manager.
It's already a terrible reason.
From Jon Snow, Matt puts Dan's wardrobe to shame.
You know nothing, Jon Snow.
Look at him, the cat that got the cream.
Ian Taylor said it was the worst thing he'd ever seen in his life.
My theory on referees is you give them the nicest changing room in the stadium.
It's just the most bizarre thing I've ever
Hear me out.
I cannot believe Gabby Abonda-Hoy's younger
That's
than
crazy,
that.
isn't it?
That's terrible. Yeah, we may well have lost listeners early doors again with a long-winded intro. Go, shoot. Hello, welcome back to the Villa View podcast with Chris Dolan to my left and myself, Dan Bardell. Thank God I wore a shirt tonight because Dolan's come like he's going to the Ritz Hotel.
It wasn't intended, it's just work attire.
Pocket square blazer, some rascal shoes, absolute rascal shoes. But you come to expect this kind of thing once you've spent a bit of time with Chris Dolan. Obviously, Tom put in a very, very poor performance, first one back from the holiday last week.
He was rusty, I must say.
So it was only right we gave him a one-match ban, and we gave Dolan a little test before the podcast started to see if he was suitable, and he knew that James Chester played for Wales. So Dolan joins me. Tom's sat on the bench twiddling his thumbs until Dolan makes a mistake, or me, maybe if I make a mistake as well. And I think this is the first time for a while in the podcast you've done we've actually won. Just before you're doing the podcast. We've lost the last two that you've done, haven't we?
QPR and Bolton.
Yeah,
we have. Who did it after the Wolves game? Oh, it was us. It was a Tuesday night.
Was it? I can't even remember. Your memory's better than mine.
We played Wolves on the Saturday, beat Wolves, and then got beat by QPR, and then did the podcast on the Wednesday.
And then from nowhere, three terrible games, but finally a good result. Have you seen it back?
Yeah. I mean, there was no pressure on us at all. I mean, they were garbage. How can you go from playoff finalists to that?
Well,
in not even in what 6 months?
I have a theory. I have a theory about that it's a hangover from losing the playoff final.
I heard you say that. But Fulham haven't that hangover. I mean, they're they
didn't lose the final though, did they?
No, that's true.
It's the way they lost as well, losing on penalty. I mean, they looked a shadow of the team that I saw play last season. Must admit, I've not seen much of Reading this season.
A shadow of the team that beat us at their place. They absolutely bossed us. We didn't turn up that day, but I thought we looked brilliant. I thought we absolutely even before the sending off. I thought it was just a matter of time.
Did you?
I thought we played really, really well. Up and at them, really on the front foot. I was messaging you before. Not very.
You were pretty grumpy.
I wasn't very confident. I wasn't well. I haven't been well all week, so that did cheer me up. But I wasn't at all confident.
Yeah. I'm a bit worried about how close I'm sat to you if you've got the flu, because I am terrible for picking stuff. Yeah, I'm avoiding her like the plague at the moment as well. I pick up every illness going. Yeah. Let's get back to the football. No one needs to hear that. You're saying about your confidence. I must admit, from the whole team when they went down to 10, me and the people around me did not share just moving the mic,
just a little
did
bit.
not share that confidence, because I just thought they're already defending quite deep and we're struggling to break them down. I know we were having a lot of the ball, but I didn't really feel like we were going anywhere. And then I thought them going down to 10, I thought, oh God, this is going to make it even worse. But luckily we got that early goal in the second half, which set us on a way. But you're right, they came with absolutely no ambition, no adventure. They just came for a
They only
point.
brought about, I think Greg Evans tweeted a picture of their away support, but there must have been about 150, 200 fans there. Easily,
Really?
easily,
It wasn't
the
great.
lowest.
I don't know whether it was that little, but it wasn't
Have you
brilliant.
seen the picture?
Well, I was there. I saw
Well, yeah,
I
of
saw
course
the
you were
pep
there,
there. I suppose I didn't think about it.
Didn't pay attention.
If I'm being honest, I was too worried about the game unfolding.
It was purr. It was just purr. It was just really, really purr from them. I think our team, it just looked so balanced.
Yeah, it did have a nicer balance to
I
it.
just think at this stage of the season, I just think we need legs in the midfield. And every time Bjarnason and Hurham play together, there's just
Energy.
something clicks. There's that energy. There's it works. There's a real balance to the team. I thought Bjarnason was absolutely outstanding. I did not think he had that in him. That level of
just from the last few weeks, or just when he first came?
From when he first came, he was always a little bit leggy for me. He didn't really have much pace. He just
he's never been
seems. He just seems like he has that extra yard this season, and he's very direct. And he wants to, he breaks it up, and the first thing he does, passes it forward, always looking to try and play it forward and get us on the attack. And there's no way now Bruce can drop him. There's just no way. There's no way
He's done
now.
it before.
Well, I think on I was a bit miffed at his that he wasn't in the squad on Saturday, but
Rested,
I believe he'd been travelling halfway around
he's
America.
rested.
But he's surely nice. That's his role.
I'd be shocked. I mean, to be honest, Bruce has alluded to the fact that he may make changes on Saturday, because he's saying he didn't make them for that QPR game and he should have done, and that's still haunting him.
Yeah, but he made three. Yeah, but he made three from Hull.
Yeah, but he's saying he might do it again. I don't think he will, but he's saying he might do it again.
He can't surely. I mean, I think the stat on Tuesday that was kind of obvious for all to see was the 3 goal scorers on Tuesday didn't play on Saturday evening.
Oh, I hadn't noticed that. That's a good observation.
I think when you look at and credit to Bruce for bringing the 3 players back into the team, but for me those players, it's just a no-brainer at the moment. Everything that we lacked in those last 3 games, they have in abundance, and they chase the ball down. Their forward runs, as much as Grabban's been quality for us, he would not have chased that ball down that Hogan chased down for the goal.
No. Oh, I've got to be honest, Vito Manona.
Oh no, well, he actually
regressed terribly. Being at Sunderland's done him no favours, and he's
he had a
moved on to
great
Reading.
game. He had a great game. He kept them in it. He kept them free.
I felt it was more by luck than judgment, if I'm being honest. Some of his saves, he had one that nearly squirmed through his hand and just went wide. I mean, Reading were absolutely terrible.
Awful.
I cannot.
But you can
hammer that message home
beat
enough.
what's in front of you.
No.
I thought we played really well.
No, I think in the first half, and this has been something that's annoyed me a few times over recent games, we were just lumping the ball into the box, and it didn't feel. I mean, I think Snodgrass, when he puts the ball in the box, I think he's putting it into a specific area.
Yeah.
But it felt like when everyone else was crossing, they weren't looking up where they were putting the ball, they were just throwing it in, and we didn't, because it was Hogan in the box. I know he scored a couple of headers this season, but he's not going to be going up against Reading's big centre halves and winning headers. I just felt it was a little bit aimless, but I guess when you've not won for 3 games, that comes and you just trying anything that you can to get a goal. And when we scored, we relaxed and played some lovely football, some really ole football. I
think now, you mentioned the word relax. I think now we can relax going into these last 6 games. I think we've certainly. I mean, the way I see it is, that's us. We're in the playoffs. That's a given. And if it's a given, it's a given. I mean,
should be, but these things are strange.
That's a given. And I was a little bit after the back-to-back defeats, I was a little bit nervous. And then after the whole game, I was like, "Oof, we could really even mess this up."
So I never really felt like that, if I'm being honest. I felt we were pretty home and hosed, but I don't like to say it.
No,
well, I suppose I've just said it.
You just said it. I was a little bit anxious, and I didn't think we'd get much from Tuesday. I just thought we'd do an Aston Villa. But that's us now in the playoffs. So hopefully we can relax a bit. The pressure's on Fulham and the pressure's on Cardiff. Hopefully we can just do our jobs, relax, and try and enjoy it.
Well, yeah, let's try and enjoy it before he gets to the playoffs, which will not be enjoyable.
Let's see where it takes us. I mean, there's been plenty of tweets going around about what if we beat Norwich? What if Cardiff get beaten Friday? What if we beat Cardiff on Tuesday? It's down to 1 point. I mean, it's as simple as that. But unfortunately, these things never quite pan out. And I've been kind of waxing. Well, I've been kind of. I don't know. Is waxing? Is that the right phrase? Waxing lyrical about?
I don't know.
About the fact that there's a long way to go.
I'll let you have it. I don't think Julian would let you have that. I think he'd pull you up. I don't think it's in the right context, but I'm not going to worry about it.
There's a long way to go. I've been just trying to say there's a long way to go, and there's a lot of football to play, and there's a lot of points to be won, and a lot of points to be dropped.
Yeah.
If we can have a howler against QPR and Bolton and Hull, then anyone else can.
Must say QPR, apart from their weird defeat to Reading in the game before ours, they've actually gone on a little bit of a run since they beat us. So that result doesn't look so bad because they have been good since then. I've got a QPR mate, and he says they're playing some really nice stuff.
Yeah.
At the moment, I just want to ask you a question that I asked on the pre-match show to Tails and James Field and the AVTV commentator. I said, do you think we're in the position now where actually we just don't even worry about anyone else? We don't even think about anyone else's results. We just need to concentrate on ourselves, getting a bit of momentum and making sure if the playoffs is our lot, then we enter it in good form.
Yeah, well, of course. That's kind of what I was alluding to. I mean, we just have to look after ourselves and look after what we do. Bruce has been around. He knows the crack. He's gonna keep the guys very much grounded and focused on game by game.
Yeah.
And if there is one man that you want in your dugout at this stage of the season, it is Steve Bruce. His record speaks for itself. But yeah, I think you're right. Yeah.
So I watched the Sheffield United Cardiff game. The night
awful.
before. I've got to say, actually, Sheffield United have played some lovely stuff.
Yeah, they're good.
They are a good side. He's a candidate. He's a candidate for manager of the season. Chris Wilder, in my opinion. Never mind Neil Warnock getting it.
I don't know if John Gregory will like me for saying this, but I'm going to say it anyway. He told me a story that a few times on a few occasions he's come up against a team managed by Neil Warnock. Literally, Warnock has instructed his team to go out and kick lumps out of the opposition.
How does John know that?
Because you just hear these things in the grapevine. Okay. He said that Warnock has instructed his players to go out and kick lumps.
I can believe it for sure.
You know what I mean? And that is the way they set up. It's anti-football, but give them their dues. You've
got to say though, if we were doing that and we were on the cusp of automatic promotion, you'd be saying he's a genius. So he's done. I'm saying he shouldn't get manager of the year, but to be fair, the money he spent at Cardiff and the state they were in when he took over, his record since he's been there is unbelievable.
You can't deny it, really.
But their football is ugly as sin.
Awful.
It really, really is. You've thrown me with what I was going to. It's all right with what I was going to. I said, so I was watching the Cardiff game with my dad, and my dad's a man in his mid-60s now. He was getting very excited by the fact Cardiff were losing, whereas I was remaining more calm because I was thinking, I really don't think this matters, Dad. But he was allowing himself to get excited, and he's been through worse times than we've been through as Villa fans. He's been through a lot better than we have as well. But he was allowing himself to get excited, which makes me think that he thinks we've got a chance, which in turn makes me think we've got no chance. If that makes sense.
Well, yeah, but until it's mathematically not possible, then of course we've got a chance. Of course we have.
I'm just trying not to think about it.
And it makes, Hull, you look at it's just, it just kind of shows how crazy this league is. Hull going to Wolves and almost getting 3 points.
I know, and
it makes our point look half decent.
Well, I was thinking after the whole game, I was thinking, how Birmingham took these apart 3-0, and Birmingham are terrible. And then we go in there and sneak. And to be honest, we were lucky to get a 0-0. It felt a little bit because they were going to say. I was going to say.
Let's not dwell on that game too much.
No.
But it's just a mad league. It's just an absolutely bonkers league. So you just have to go with it. You have to go with it. And as I said before, you can't get too upbeat when you win, and you can't get too deflated when you lose.
Got a quick question for you that's just popped into my head while we've been talking about it. Let's say we do get to the playoff final. Oof. Is that your Wembley suit there that you've got? Would you wear a Wembley suit?
Depends where I'm sitting, man.
Yeah? Well, I can almost pretty much guarantee you there'll be good seats if it's the Chris Dolan. I know. The Blagger, I know.
I've got a few cheeky suits knocking around.
Yeah. I'd be interested to see your playoff suit. I'm more of a traditionalist. I'd like to wear my shirt. I guess it depends what I'm doing, but I imagine I'll be in with my dad.
Shirt and jeans?
Just Villa shirt and jeans, I would imagine. Maybe
Classic.
shorts if it's a nice day, Dolan. You just never know. But we've got to get there first. But I just was interested to what kind of gear
I've got
wear.
a really nice burgundy suit.
You went to the FA Cup final, didn't you?
No, I went to the semi.
What did you wear for that? That was I imagine at Wembley trip you dressed up to the nines.
I had good seats. I was just in like a denim jacket.
Yeah, that's cash.
Fresh.
Surprisingly cash.
Yeah.
You're the kind of guy I'd imagine go out and get the same suit that the Villa players would have. And get the club suit. Wear the club
See
suit.
if I could swear on this.
Yeah,
Channel,
you're not happy with
I would
that.
have just swore
You're not happy with that?
right there and then.
okay.
Of course I wouldn't.
Oh, I just had the feel. I can imagine
Absolutely
I
not.
can imagine you in a nice Wembley club suit. The white one Liverpool wore in
That
96.
was rascal, man.
Yeah, you liked that?
Proper, man.
Come on. I did I mean, we're completely moving away from Villa here, but I did offend Dolan on social media the other day by questioning one of his jackets that he posted. You posted your first ever Paul Smith jacket, and
That was an absolute beaut.
and I didn't like it. And Dolan, I could tell he was very put out by my opinion.
Yeah.
I felt almost as if I wasn't allowed a fashion opinion, but that's fine. Anyway, we digress.
Anyone that wears ripped jeans, that's
Are they not? They know.
Well, let's just move
This
on.
has turned into the fashion podcast. We've talked about Bjarnason a little bit, and you're saying there's no way he can be dropped now, but Bruce likes Jedinak and Whelan.
Yeah, but
Do you not think there's certain games they're going to come in for still?
No.
No?
No, well, we have to win every game going forward.
No, I know,
we have to
but-
win every game.
We've won games with Jedinak and Whelan this season.
Yeah, but we've played differently. Like we haven't gone into the game to like really go for it. We haven't gone gun ho. There's been a lot more. You look at Bruce's game management of the last couple of games. That's not Steve Bruce. Steve Bruce doesn't put on 4 strikers at once.
I wish he didn't, if I'm being honest.
That's him. That's his gun ho approach. So and you can't. Hurahan's the last midfielder to score 10 goals in a season was David Platt.
I've got some notes
Sorry,
for Connor. We're going to come on to Connor. But talk about Bjarnason at the
talking about
moment.
the duo, just in general. Between those
Yeah.
two, there's 14 goals this season, 15 goals. Between Jedinak, Whelan and Lansbury, there's 3 goals.
Is there that many? I know Jedinak scored one.
Jedinak's got
Whelan's
one,
got one.
Whelan's got
They've all
one.
got one, haven't they?
All-
Good
all one
night.
each.
Tell you what, Dolan, no notes in front of you. That's quite the.
So
I apologise because I'm used to Tom having notes and getting things wrong. So to have someone with no notes and getting things right, I can't. My brain can't deal with that.
and what Bjarnason's got 5 in all competitions, 4 in all competitions.
Again, I don't know. Which is
Connor's
not
got
good.
10, so you're looking at 14, 15 goals between that pairing.
Yeah,
You can't argue with that.
I don't disagree with what you're saying, but do you see it as a pairing? Because I don't.
Why
I
not?
see it as Bjarnason's the man playing as the anchor man.
Yeah.
And then you got Grealish playing as a central midfielder on the left and Connor playing as a central midfielder on the right. So I would say that's more of the partnership.
You hit Jack playing. You
I hate Jack playing.
hit
do
Jack
I?
playing there.
No, I like him there.
Oh, I thought
That's where I
thought
like him.
I think you wanted him further forward.
What I don't like is when we bring on 17 strikers
And he sits
and
back
Jack
as a-
ends up
as-
having to play as a defensive
as a-
midfielder.
yeah,
I'm not
yeah,
a big
yeah, yeah.
not a big fan of that,
Yeah,
as I've
yeah.
said on Villa View
Yeah.
before. But do you not think so? There's been certain games, for example, the one Bjarnason came out of was the Birmingham game at home, and Jedinak came in. I'm just playing devil's advocate.
It's
here.
justified.
Jedinak came in and he played very well, and we won, and he was the right man for that occasion. Do you not think there might be some of the games at some point where Jedinak's the right man for the occasion?
Well, let's look. Okay, I'm going to go through our last remaining 6 games.
I'm trying to think maybe
And you're
Ipswich
gonna-
away is
and
one
you're
that
gonna tell me.
jumps out to me.
Norwich away on Saturday.
Burke plays Saturday for sure.
Cardiff at home on Tuesday.
See, that's one where I think maybe you do Jedinak in a big physical side. Do you see what I'm saying?
But Burker's a big physical dude. He's a big.
Not like Jedinak though.
He's-
One thing I will say about Burke, someone else said this on social media, and I can't remember who it was. He reads the game
reads the
very
game
well.
and you don't need if you're clever and you read the game well, that's all you need. Do you know what I mean? Like, would you say Glenn Whelan's a very physical?
No,
Look.
but again, I think he puts himself in the right place defensively.
As does Berger. I think he was. You can't drop him.
I see that Whelan and
Why do we have to like change our game plan against clubs like
That's
Cardiff?
fair. That's fair.
We're Aston Villa.
No, I know.
Cardiff City.
But we're also the Aston Villa that lost
Absolute
to
dross.
Bolton. And Jedinak didn't play, and that was maybe a game for Jedinak, just looking back. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get that. I get
Yeah.
that. Leeds at home.
Probably Burker again. Home games. I
Cardiff
usually
at home?
no. I realised as I was saying I was
Yeah.
contradicting myself. I think Cardiff's a different kind of home game because that like you said, John Gregory said to you. You know they're going to
know
come
they're
out there
gonna-
and
of course
mix
you
it. So Jedinak can mix it. He can look after himself.
Yeah,
I'm sure Bjarnason can. as well. I mean, to be fair, be honest, and it got fouled, wasn't it, for the man to get the ready man to get sent off?
In that case, do you drop Jack? Do you drop these? Sort
you don't
of,
drop the other two. It's that anchor man position is the one that I see has been a rotation position at the moment. I think you took. Well, I said we're coming on to Connor. You took Connor out against Hull, and I tell you, there was a severe without him or Burker, like you're saying, there was a lack of energy.
Yeah.
There's a lack of energy. Lansbury, to be fair to him, he had some good moments in that game, but he hasn't really played this season, and he looked unfit to me.
I
might be wrong.
I know he's popular amongst the guys, and I'm sure he's a really good bloke, but he's really, really he's been really disappointing. Really disappointing.
Yeah, I get what you mean.
I was really excited about him.
Yeah, I was too.
I thought this is the sort of missing link. And especially the season he was having up until he joined us.
Yeah.
And he's been so bad. He's been so...
I think he's been bad is a bit harsh.
Well, what would you say? He's been then great? Good?
I just think
average?
He's never really had a massive run of games, I would say. So from my point of view, I think you don't see the best out of someone unless they get a run. People were saying Bjarnason was a waste of money. Why did we buy him? But then he gets a run and he's good.
He played a bit left back, right back, getting nets. You know, Lansbury everywhere.
But Lansbury can probably point back to the fact that last season, when he did have a run of games, he was playing as a defensive midfielder. He wants to be box to box, doesn't he? He doesn't want to be playing as a defensive midfielder. Did you see what I mean?
Yeah.
I can't find. There was someone asked a question about who's been the most disappointing.
I saw that.
Player for Villa for you this season, and
he hasn't played enough to be. But overall, from those signings that we made back last January, he's been the one that's really, really just hasn't done anything really for me.
Yeah, I just think
apart from that first half he had against Preston in his first game.
Oh, he was very good in his first game. I just feel. I still feel like I don't know enough about Lansbury, which is weird for someone who's been here for over a year, but I feel like I haven't seen him enough. So to say he has that disappointed me, because I wanted to see what he could do.
There's a reason why we haven't seen much of him.
Well, injury.
He hasn't impressed, but he's had a chance, he hasn't impressed.
He's had bits and pieces. I think he would point to the fact that he's had a lot of injuries. When he played last season, we weren't playing in a way that suited him.
Yeah, but Hogan had a lot of injuries and he came in and just grabbed the chance.
We played in a way that hasn't suited him as well for a long time, but now we're not playing in that way. Lansbury came into the side the other day, to be fair to him, when we were on the back of a two-game winless run and confidence was a bit low. Maybe if you put him into a thriving team. I mean, I'm not for 1 minute saying he should be in the team, because at the moment, if I picked what I think Villa's best 11 is...
It was Tuesday nights.
He's not in there.
No, he's not.
I'd probably have Hutton in the best 11. He didn't play Tuesday, did he? He was got a little knock.
All day, tails all day long for me.
Do you think?
Yeah.
Taylor's been a funny one as well. He's disappointed me a little this season.
This season, he's not been great, but again, he's been very much in and out of the squad, hasn't he?
Yeah, mate, yeah, I suppose that's fair. I mean, last season, I thought he was a great sign. I really liked him. I was speaking to Dan Rolinson, actually, and I was saying, funnily enough, we've let Harvey go. Obviously, we probably had to, because he can bring in some money.
He couldn't defend, could he?
But he'd have been actually really good in this team. Because he's so good going forward, and he'd have playing the way we played.
Him and Snodgrass, maybe a Doma linking up.
I think he'd have been good with a Doma down that left hand side. But last season, he wasn't what we needed. Taylor was what we needed. So I just feel Harvey would have actually been decent in this side.
He couldn't defend, could he?
Well, he can defend in France.
It's France, though.
I know, but it's not. He's playing against some good teams in France. He's got himself into the
good team.
Well, Monaco are decent as well. He's got himself into the French squad at times.
Yeah.
This season as well, and they're not short on good players. To be fair, you get what I'm saying?
Listen, of course I do, man. Of course, there's always pros and cons. There's always right or wrong for every argument, isn't there?
Yeah. But I just felt with Taylor, like he was making a lot of runs on Tuesday, forward runs. But I felt like there was a reluctance to give him the ball. It almost felt as if because his delivery wasn't the best. It felt like the players just stopped giving him the ball a little bit. Like he was making the runs, but he wasn't getting the ball. And El Mohammadi, who on Saturday I was actually saying you can see how much Snodgrass needs El Mohammadi.
Snodgrass mentioned in the podcast, didn't he?
Yeah,
did he say
a good podcast that was.
Was good. Said that how much he enjoys playing with him.
Yeah, but they know each other's games. I think El Mohammadi makes Snodgrass a better player. It's a really interesting podcast. If you haven't listened to it, go back and listen to AVFC Officials podcast with James Jevons and Robert Snodgrass. It's well worth listening. You learn quite a lot about inside the dressing room and the goings on at the club at the moment. He was saying it's not always about picking the best player. It's about having the best partnerships.
Totally, man.
And he was saying, and that rings true.
Absolutely.
With him and El Mohammadi, because El Mohammadi wasn't in the team on Saturday, and Snodgrass didn't have an effective game.
Yeah.
Twanzebe didn't look as comfortable with the overlaps and the coming forward, and it affected Snodgrass. But then El Mohammadi didn't have a good game. on Tuesday. His crossing was not good, and he's got a good delivery normally.
Yeah, but he's probably a little bit rusty, wasn't he?
Yeah, he always seemed to want to take a touch when I felt he should be whipping it in.
Yeah, but you just complained about players whipping it in first time and not looking up.
No, I didn't complain about them whipping it in first time. I complained about them not looking up.
Right, okay.
That was the complaint. Dolan, put words into my mouth. But yeah, his delivery wasn't what I've come to expect from him this season. But because he's there, Snodgrass had a better game. 2 assists for him again. How good is his productivity?
Absolutely quality. And I was surprised because you've said this before that you weren't really sure where he was going to fit into the team.
I don't know what I was going on about.
I was absolutely buzzing when I found out that he was coming in. How could you not be buzzing? Phenomenal player.
And I was pleased because I knew he was a good player, but at the time I felt like our squad was a bit bloated. But I look back now and think, what was I thinking? Because he's a class act.
But just on and off the pitch, he's just an absolute dude.
His podcast was so. I don't want to spoil it if people haven't listened to it, but they were saying like, who's your best friend at the club, and he was like, I can't say.
If you could pick 2 little players to go out for a night out with for a few pints,
it's a question.
For just for a couple of pints.
Probably Snodgrass and Terror.
Yeah,
if I'm being honest.
Yeah, I think Snodgrass because he's such a dude and he's so funny, and then Terry because
I just like to pick his brain.
Just Terry because of his stories, like, and he talked about all those great nights in Europe.
If you could pick 2 players, any Villa players that you've ever watched, what 2 would you pick?
Ever?
Yeah.
God. It's a really hard one. Mark Bosnich. He was kind of my first Villa hero.
Stories again. He'd have some good stories.
Yeah, he was my first kind of Villa hero. And
were you a goalkeeper?
No, but I just thought he was just brilliant.
Yeah.
His style, he had a very unique style. I felt
he's a great goalkeeper,
great shot stopper, and very
good penalty saver.
Fantastic. Bosnich and definitely not Ian Taylor.
I don't think he's going to be listening to you. I don't think you've offended him. I'll tell you. I'll pass it on when I see him.
I like Steve Staunton.
Yeah,
Staunton.
I've met Steve Staunton once.
Really good player. Really good player. Wonderful left foot. Do you remember that goal? I think it was against Ipswich when Staunton pinged it all the way down the line and Saunders just came from an offside position round the back of the defender.
I think so. I think I remember it.
Quality.
I'm trying to think who I'd have. I would have said Tails, but I see him quite a lot now, so I must have sounded a bit arrogant. I didn't mean it to. I see him quite a lot now. And when he's down in London, he doesn't invite us out for a drink either, does he? So he's off the Christmas card list.
He's got too important these days.
He's changed. He has really, really changed. He won't be listening to this. There's absolutely no chance.
No.
He's going to hear it. Wouldn't you not want to go with McGrath? Drink with McGrath?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, well, but either McGrath or Staunton. Definitely Bosnich.
I wasn't expecting you to say Bosnich. I can't really think who I would pick.
All time?
If I'm being honest. No, I can't think.
No, do you know what?
What?
Paul Merson.
Paul Merson. Well, you might look at him. Well, he won't be here at this time at all. I was going to say you might bump into him, but there's absolutely no chance he'll be here at 9:10 on a Thursday night. We've digressed. I'd
love to just if the listeners would put down their past and present duo who they
that's good. That's a good point. Yeah, comment below with which 2 Villa personnel, ex or present,
past or present,
or do both, that you'd like to go out for a drink with. I'm going to have a think about mine. I feel like this is
and then tweet it.
I'm going to be lying awake tonight thinking about who it would be. All right, this is the kind of weird thing I worry about.
I'll not be lying
at night. No. Right, let's move on to Connor because. You started to talk about him and bring my laptop over. Notes extraordinaire. Doing my best Tom Julian impression here. So, I did a bit of research because, I've got to be honest, he's had a bit of stick,
strangely,
Connor, and I cannot understand it. Especially when someone, never mind the rest of everything I'm going to say. In fact, he scored 10 goals. You think he would avoid criticism? 10 goals.
Some of the stick I've seen for players. See that AVFC hashtag. Some of their comments.
I don't even look.
It is laughable.
Yeah.
Honestly, some of the things I've read on there are just unbelievable. Okay. So I wouldn't take any note, Mr. Herhan, if you're listening. Right. Don't take any note of the negative comments.
He probably doesn't listen, but let's go anyway. So I've got here. He didn't start the season. So at the start of the season, Leandro Bacuna, Lansbury, and Glenn Whelan were the 3 midfielders that were picked. He didn't get that bad a reception, Bacuna, actually, and considering his hairstyle as well.
Yeah, he's got some.
I know it feels wrong to go into hairstyles with you sat next to me, but his hairstyle was brave, to say the least, considering he probably knew he was going to get stick to turn up with that ponytail. I found. I commend his braveness, to be fair. But anyway, back to Connor. So he didn't start the season. We lost our first 2 games. Came in against Reading, we lost again, but he scored.
No, we drew our first game.
Huh?
We drew our first
No,
game.
I'm saying he didn't start the first 2 games. So he didn't start against Hull or Cardiff.
Okay.
Oh, did I say we'd lost them?
Yeah.
Apologies, I made an error, Tom Julian. So what happens when you make notes. And then he came back in against Reading away and he scored.
Yeah, lost that though.
Yeah, but we lost, but he scored.
Yeah.
Next game, he goes on and scores a hat-trick.
Against Norwich.
Against Norwich. He then played pretty much then up until December when we played Millwall at Villa Park. He was dropped because Lansbury came in after scoring against Leeds. So Connor gets dropped. We draw with Millwall, 0-0.
Yeah.
Connor then gets reinstated. He then got dropped against Brentford. We lost 2-1.
Yeah.
He got reinstated the next game and we beat Middlesbrough and we went on to win 7 games in a row and he scored a few goals.
He played all 7, didn't he?
Yeah, and he played all 7 of those games. He got dropped again last week against Hull, 0-0. We don't win again with him being dropped.
Yeah.
And then he comes back in against Reading and he scores.
Pummel them. Yeah.
So, one, that says a lot for his mentality when he gets dropped. 2, I'm starting to think, should he really be getting dropped? Because if you look at all those games, if you look at the games where he didn't start, I'd say there was a problem in every one of those games, and it was the same problem: a lack of legs.
And
we got outran,
and we can't score as well.
Yeah, so Brentford outran us completely. I mean, we had a midfield of Jedinak and Whelan in that game. So to be honest, we were asking for trouble with getting outrun. Hull, I thought we lacked legs. The Millwall 0-0, we definitely lacked legs as well. So basically, every time he's got dropped, we haven't won. Mm-hmm. And then he's come back in and he's made an impact. So I think that's telling. And I think the fact he's got 10 goals, the first central midfielder since David Platt to achieve that feat, he deserves an enormous amount of credit. But as I say, his mentality, the fact that when it's almost like he gets dropped and he thinks, right, next time, and this is how it should be, by the way.
Of course. Yeah.
I'm gonna prove you wrong. I don't think any of the other central midfielders can do what Connor does in terms of pressing high up the pitch. He makes a lot of runs and he creates a lot of space for other people as well. And he uses the ball well. I think he's got the best pass completion percentage in the squad.
90% pass completion on Tuesday night, I believe.
So I've got to think about it. People didn't used to like Westwood, and I'd tick him off as maybe doing some of those things that I've just listed that Connor can do. But Connor's got the added benefit of being very good going forward and scoring goals.
Westwood must
but fans didn't like Westwood. Okay,
No.
fair enough. I liked him personally, but fans didn't like him. It's almost like it's the stuff that does go unnoticed, that the players that are doing that, they're the ones that get the stick. But he's scoring 10 goals, so I can't understand why people think that he shouldn't be in the team. And it's not everyone.
No,
it's just a small percentage that think he shouldn't be. I mean, it's just opinion, and that's what makes football great. But I personally cannot understand it. I don't know. You feel the same?
Everything you've said, I completely echo.
Yeah,
completely. Yeah, I mean, I would just go around and say exactly what you've just said.
Are you impressed with my research?
Yeah.
It's good, isn't it? I'm going to try. I did try and compose a tweet with this information, but it was just too wordy. So this is what I've probably just done, was a bit wordy as well, but I hope that it makes sense to people that were listening to it. I mean, I didn't see David Platt play. Did you? That's the only other...
He was probably about 2-3 years before us.
Yeah, I didn't see him. I definitely never saw him play live.
My first Villa game was 1994.
Mine was just before yours.
Boxing Day away at Arsenal.
Okay.
0-0, big fashion up front. Yeah, so I think he was 2-3 seasons before us.
Yeah, I'd never really saw him. My dad said he was a very good player.
I mean, I've seen a few of his goals he scored for us.
I mean, yeah, you can't argue with his record. In my time, I'd say we've only had 3 goal-scoring central midfielders, including Connor.
Gareth Barry.
No, he wasn't really. I wouldn't say he was a goal scorer. He just took penalties. So there's Connor, Ian Taylor, James Milner.
He scored them, didn't he?
He scored them, but okay, from open play, I'd say we've only had 3 goal-scoring central midfield players, and they're an
absolute rarity as well.
Yeah, if you've got one, you don't get rid of him or take him out of the team.
But Conor Horan's the only one to have banged in double figures,
including Snodgrass hasn't hit double figures yet either. No, he's not far, probably not too far off, but he hasn't, and he's an incredible player.
Exactly.
As well, I think he deserves a massive amount of credit, and I think the other thing that goes unnoticed is first half of the season, or first 40% of the season, the guy's playing as a deep lying midfielder. He's sacrificing his own game for the sake of the team, and he's still managed to get himself to
Yeah.
to 10 goals. I just think he flies under the radar, and it was good to see actually fan cams. Go back and watch fan cams from after the
And
Reading
let's
game.
be honest, goal of the season's probably going to be his against Blues.
I just imagine he's got that sewn up. Although Burkers the other night was quite nice.
just
But
the
kind of
whole-
he's got goal of the season, absolutely sewn up. But yeah, I just think he's had a really good season. The fan cams, go back and watch that if you haven't seen it already, because it's a good positive
Yeah,
watch.
it's good.
They were other people were very complimentary of Conor Horan and agreed that he'd flown.
I agree.
under the radar. So well done to Conor. 10 goals, first central midfielder, since David Platt to achieve that feat. Now I've got something here that I bet you didn't know. 4 years ago today,
So the Fulham game,
Aston Villa played Fulham
2-1.
at home, and
beat 2-1.
we lost 2-1, and prizes for guessing
Look
the
at
goal
that
scorer.
team.
Yeah, so Grant Holt scored for Villa, his only goal
Look at that team.
after his loan spell from Wigan. I've just got the team up here that we had that day.
Absolutely dreadful.
I've got to say, is this the worst Villa
No,
team
it's
you've
not,
ever
'cause
seen?
I'm
Are you
gonna say,
sure?
well, this team didn't go down, did it?
No, but I'm saying, is this the worst ever starting 11? Because this starting 11 is rascal. Let me just read it out.
I can see it, mate.
No, you can. But what you got to remember is the people on the
Sore eyes.
camera cannot see the screen. So we had Brad Guzan in goal, Matt Loughton right back, Joe Bennett left back, Ron Vlaar and Baker centre backs. A central midfield three of Ashley Westwood, Leandro Bacuna, and
love how you've
Ryan.
got their numbers
I just
there as
copied
well.
it from BBC.
All right.
And Ryan Bertrand finding himself in central midfield that day. A front three of Grant Holt with Albrighton and Vyman flanking him. Jordan Bowery came on for Albrighton in that game, and Joe Bennett was substituted for Alexander Tonev. So when those guys were all on the pitch, is that a shout for the worst Villa 11 has ever started a league game? That was a terrible 11.
There is a Premier League winner in that 11.
There is a Premier League winner in that 11, and he got an assist that day.
And there's another player in there that's probably going to go up as well this season, in Joe Bennett.
Yeah.
With Cardiff.
Yeah, but I've got to be honest, it's not a good 11.
And there's another Premier League player in there
All right,
who
Dolan.
plays at Burnley. And you got Bertrand, who plays for England.
I know, but I'm saying
You got Wyman, who's
Ryan Bertrand will not be playing central midfield for England.
I agree, it's horrendous.
At any point. It's just a funny
Absolutely
team.
horrendous.
I feel like I'd forgotten about that.
If any one team has Paul Lambert written all over it,
Yeah, it does,
that is
doesn't it?
just Paul Lambert
But
in a nutshell.
The other Paul Lambert thing is someone for Fulham scored an absolute screamer
Richardson scored
that day.
lovely, he did, yeah.
Kieran Richardson. He
Yeah.
never did anything of good note
Well, he
at
did.
Villa
He
Park.
had a quality semi-final.
Oh, that's true. I'm saying at Villa Park, I never saw him do anything good. Yeah, you're right there. He was arguably man of the match that day.
He was arguably the best man on the pitch.
Even a stop-
him and Westwood.
Yeah, even a stop clock tells the right time twice a day. Dolan, but that lineup is unbelievable. And then we went on to sign Kieran Richardson
did.
off the back of, well, not off the back of that game, but the following summer. If you can think of a worse 11 that we've ever put out,
Oh,
I'd
the
love
one
to know
against
it.
Stoke in the opening day of the season must have been pretty horrendous, because there must have been, although we won, there must have been Senderos in there.
That was
as
the
well.
next season, wasn't it?
Senderos.
No,
must have been
Senderos kept
playing.
mate, I'm not being funny.
Oh, come on.
Senderos was all right.
Oh, come on.
For us. Him and Vlaar did well together.
He is horrendous.
Oh, he's a clown, but he actually did all right for us. You don't think he did okay? No, you're not having that.
No.
Dear me. We kept a few clean sheets with him and Vlaar at centre back, and Senderos and Baker as well at centre back. Yeah, please.
Swiftly moving on.
Yeah, please comment below if you can think of a worse 11 that we've had than that, because that was unbelievable. How long are we in? 36. I think we'll do some
questions. There was a lot of good questions today.
There was.
I was in the midst of answering them all. But
I know you had to slow Dolan down on the WhatsApp group.
I got told off.
You don't answer the questions before the podcast, Dolan.
Just
You've done this a few times.
Fastest finger first.
Yeah,
A little bit too
yeah, you
excited.
did. A bit trigger happy. So I like this one. I've not thought of an answer, which is a problem. Kieran Hand, a bit of a hypothetical one for you. We reached the playoff final. You need to make a 3-song playlist to get those players pumped up before heading out for kick-off. What 3 songs would you choose? And leave this one to you because you're the music man.
They'd probably all hate them. Probably bar Chesney and Hurahan. They'd probably all hate my choices. That's a very good question. So you have to suit everyone's tastes.
Yeah. Do you want to know what we...
I'd do a Kendrick Lamar track, because I think he's
lost me
brilliant.
already.
You must know who Kendrick
I
Lamar
know who
is.
he is, but I can't say I've listened to any of his stuff.
Kendrick Lamar. I'd do.
Educate us.
What,
I'm going to download whatever 3 songs you say. I'm going to go home and download them, and I'm going to post them on my Insta page like I'm cool like you.
Well, there's a track by Oasis. It's an instrumental
I know
track,
Oasis.
but it's
I'm familiar with that band.
It's got a naughty word at the start.
It's all right. Just bleep it out. No, just don't say the word.
It's called In the Bushes,
Okay.
and it's an instrumental track.
I
It's
know
used on the. It's used on
Would that get them pumped up?
Snatch.
Okay. Yeah, good film.
Quality tune,
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
I'd play that. I'd play I play. I don't know. I can't.
Okay.
I really can't think.
All right,
I can't think.
Maybe you should have answered on Twitter earlier because
can't think.
on the spot you've struggled.
Really? Well, because I'm trying to pick up players for footballers, and they've got notoriously got the worst taste in music.
Do you want to know what? Do you know I was the second person to choose the music in the Villa Park dressing room after Tommy Elphick. They got a new on the new sound system that they use now. We played our game there at Villa Park.
Oh, yeah.
I was in the home dressing room. Well, yeah, Mick Dale, absolute legend at Villa Park, told me that Brian Little's favourite band was Fleetwood Mac.
Oh,
so I put the chain on.
Oh, stunner!
And Brian was loving it. He was jigging around, just about to do his team talk, and he got him pumped up for the team talk as well. So I'll put a bit of Fleetwood Mac on. So I'll probably do that.
Me a bit of Led Zeppelin, Black Sabbath, because they're Villa boys. Oasis, Black Sabbath, Kendrick Lamar, Fleetwood Mac.
It's a bit of a niche show.
Rolling Stones always goes down quite well.
Current DJ at Villa is Jack Grealish. I don't think he'd be playing any of the songs that you've just mentioned.
I've heard a few of his.
He's got good. Their players like it apparently. No.
I've heard a few of his tunes, man, on Instagram.
Calling him out.
Awful.
Okay. That's very harsh. It's very harsh. Right, it was Noah actually who asked the good question about many good shouts for player of the season, but which players have disappointed you this season? Who do you expect more from? I think we covered that with the Lansbury thing. I think there's reasons for it, but I just had such high expectations for Henry Lansbury. Yeah. I think that's the main thing. When we signed him, I was absolutely chuffed because when we played Forest, he was a real nasty piece of work and he really annoyed me. And I thought, perfect, that's coming to us.
I'm trying to think of players that have consistently played who have been poor, but I can't think of. There's not one. It's been an
enjoyable
very
season.
Consistent season. If you and even going through the squad.
Yeah.
I mean, Onama's really, from having such a bright start, Onama's really been.
He hasn't really played second half of the season.
Well, he's come on. He's just looked very, very uninterested.
I'll tell you what I've been disappointed with in general. Again, it's because I had high hopes for him. Tommy Elphick. Having to be farmed out for Reading. No, he did well when he came in this season. But last season,
everybody was dreadful last season.
He really disappointed me last season. I had real high hopes. Yeah, I had quite Bree is another one. I thought we'd see more of him, and I'm saying he hasn't played. But again, he had good reviews at Barnes. I thought he was going to be a good.
He'll be good for the future.
I'm not sure he's going to be. And I think he'll be on loan somewhere next season. Possibly should have been on loan somewhere this season. But
he came in against Bolton and he was arguably one of our best players.
I mean, you've already answered this next question. So,
go ahead.
James Rushton, name your playoff bracket. All 4 teams, 2 are certain, but there's 2 wild cards. So I'm presuming us and Fulham or Cardiff are the certainty. So 2 more.
I think Cardiff will go up. So I think it'll be Fulham, Villa, Middlesbrough, and Millwall.
You don't think Derby will sort themselves out?
No.
I think Sheffield United are going to sneak in. I'm going to say Sheffield United instead of Millwall, but I think Millwall will come in very close. And God, if we go there on the last day and they need a win,
who's going to want to go to the Den?
Not me.
In a playoff semi.
No.
In the second leg. Needing to win it.
I wouldn't fancy that. Well, something I learned the other day, I don't know if this is true, someone told me this, that if you finish 3rd or 4th, you get your home leg second, which is what you prefer.
Yeah.
So if you finish 5th or 6th, you're at home first in the playoffs, and you probably want to be at home second, don't you?
Yeah.
You'd want the Villa Park atmosphere
to
carry us through. So it's worth trying to finish 3rd or 4th, making sure you finish as high as possible. Yeah, you answered that question. As I said, Henry Naylor raised something that I didn't realise. Loan players actually weren't eligible for the team of the season.
Really?
Did you see the team of the season championship? We had 2 representatives.
Yeah.
So do you reckon Johnston hasn't got in because of that? Do you think he'd have been in over John Ruddy? Because I think he's had a better season than John Ruddy.
You can't argue with the goalkeeper of the absolute runaway leaders, I know, but they've been there since day one, pretty much. You can't really argue with it.
I know you can't.
I put him in my little team. Do you remember?
I did. I didn't like it. I didn't like it. I wasn't having it
at all.
No.
So I did kind of have a little wry smile, a little giggle when I saw him in the EFL team of the season.
Yeah, but my pick couldn't get in there. He actually physically wasn't allowed to be picked, Dolan. So it's not my fault. That's strange. If anyone can explain to us why that's the case, I'd love to know. Ben Hopper, resident chant king. Do you finally take back the Bjarnason doesn't need a song now after his brilliant display on Tuesday night? I just think he doesn't need your song, Ben.
What's his tune?
I can't even remember it, but I didn't think
he is good. Ben Hopper.
He always comments about chants.
Oh, okay.
Ben, come on, darling. You listen to the show when you're not doing it. Even Tom Julian's commented here saying he's always repping the chant. He was like, "Do you need a left back, Bjarnason? Do you need a right wing, Bjarnason?" He was like that. You can't have that, can you? No. He does deserve his own chant, but then I'd say James Chester deserves his own chant. There's a few people that deserve their own chant in there. Villa Mad, because we've been linked with Charlie Austin. Villa Mad 3 on Twitter. Charlie Austin, discuss. Not for me, by the way. Again, you'll be surprised to learn Chris Dolan's already answered that by saying too injury prone. No, if we went up, I would not be looking for us to sign Charlie Austin.
No.
Although I took a bit of stick for saying if we go up, I'd like to see Benteke come back. People didn't like that.
100%.
Yeah, he's not a bad player, is he? Just on a bad run of form.
He's really, he's a real confidence. He's a real confidence player.
Yeah.
I'd have him back in a heartbeat.
Wouldn't we both? Simon O'Regan. Dan knows this is a particular bugbear of mine. So having now scored 10 league goals this season, first midfielder to do so since Platt, can people now stop asking what does Horahan offer? Because the answer is goals, alongside his incredible work rate and pressing. I'm glad someone else sees what we see. Nice little hashtag over the Horahammer at the end. Mm-hmm. Actually, while we're talking about that, Hammer, it's Thomas's birthday today. Happy birthday to my old pal. Mm-hmm. Hits. Hope he's having a wonderful time in Stuttgart for his birthday. Big D, ever the dreamer. If we beat Norwich on Saturday and Cardiff on Tuesday, the gap could potentially be down to a point, though Cardiff will have a game in hand. Do you think it's important to remember football is still played on the pitch, not on Twitter?
It's a very...
felt like he was a dig at someone. Yeah, he's an intense guy, Big D.
Was it a dig at... He was a dig at you?
No, I don't think so. I just think it may be dig at the people that criticise the team a lot.
Constantly
on Twitter.
Talk garbage on that.
Although I must admit, the 3 games before the last one, that was probably the most frustrated I've been all season.
Oh no, you were.
I was a bit down.
I was worried about you after QPR.
I was really worried about you. I was just a bit down.
I was worried about you.
No, I'm saying there's nothing to worry about. I just had... But
you were in a bad way.
I was just upset, Chris, because I want us to go up automatically. I didn't want to have to go through the playoffs.
That's the deal, but Dan, that's football.
Yeah, it's true. Sean William Jones, who actually we need to thank for lending us a light for fan cams, because Rollo.
I liked his. He was good on fan cams.
I think he's always very good on fan cams, very reasoned, and they've had a lot of positive.
He looks like James Rushton. Is it James?
I think that's incredibly harsh.
I thought
Only joking, James.
I thought it was the same person.
No, it's a different guy. Sean.
They could be brothers.
There could be, but I don't think they are. Sean's a part of AVFC, The Religion, the Villa YouTube channel. So if you haven't checked that out, obviously still please watch our stuff as well. But go and check out AVFC, The Religion. There's some good little YouTube channels around, isn't there?
Good ones knocking around.
Yeah. As we said, I really like the Marco, and we mentioned the other week.
The Villa, the away days.
Yeah,
one's very good.
But check out Villa, The Religion on YouTube if you could, please. Obviously, Sean's a regular contributor to fan cams and always speaks very well. Jay Morgan says BB, Grealish and Horahan have got to be the midfield 3 for the running. Pretty much what you were saying. Mm-hmm. Cover for each other and all can play. Also, collar or no collar on a football shirt. I'm a collar man.
I thought last season's kit was like the best we've had in many years. Many years.
I don't know. I'm not sure.
I love last season's
I prefer
kit.
this season's.
No.
I prefer.
No.
I don't mind. I like a bit of a rotation with the collar. The best was the drawstrings.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God, what a kit! Let's bring them back in. They need to come. You're the fashion man. What's happened to them?
What's up with this? There's been a lot of talk. I'm just kind of talking about the kit and stuff. The badge change. Are we going to revert back to the old?
I don't think we are anytime soon. I believe
there was talk of that, wasn't there?
Yeah, I believe money has been spent on the last time we changed a badge on a rebrand, and it's a massive job to change. Otherwise, I don't see us. I think we definitely need to be in the Premier League for any badge changes to take place. Linda Pallett raises a valid point, I think, saying, again, you've answered it, Dolan. What is the point?
Very simple.
Yeah. Should James Chester have been in the AFL team of the year ahead of John Terry? I definitely think he should. I think.
What did I say as well?
Terry, you said yes. Terry missed
exactly why
6 to 8 weeks with injury.
Chester kept us.
As well.
He kept us going.
Chester has been absolutely phenomenal signing, and this may sound over the top, but one of the best signings we've made, in my opinion, in my time as a Villa fan.
He's up there with the likes of Melberg, Larson and McGrath.
Especially for where we are, because he's such a quality player. He's better than the Championship. You worried if we don't go, we'll lose Chester?
Without a doubt.
Yeah?
Without a doubt.
You think you not think he'd want to stay?
I would like to think he would.
Yeah?
But...
No inside info there?
No.
Do you think the fact I've named a rabbit after him would sway the family in any way?
Should do.
Yeah, I'd have thought so.
Should do.
His dad definitely knows that, because I saw his dad after the Fulham game, and stupidly that was the best thing I could think to say. So apologies to James Chester's dad if he's listening. MC Monkey Boy 1978. Should we actually start hoping Fulham keep winning? Really don't want them in the playoffs.
Listen, you just have to look after your own results, and it'll take care of itself.
Yeah, I think if I could pick I wouldn't want to play for. Out of all the teams in the league.
Yeah, but everyone said that last year, and Fulham absolutely blew it.
So. No, against Reading as well.
Exactly. So you just have to go with it.
But still, if I could avoid any team, and I'm including Wolves in this, I'd avoid Fulham. They're the ones I wouldn't want to play. I know we beat them at Villa Park, but I think they're a different beast. Maybe we're a different beast as well, but they're a different beast to they were when they rocked up at Villa Park.
Every team can beat every team on its day.
No, that's true. That's true. Let me just get up the YouTube comments from our videos in recent weeks. So if you could fill some time while I attempt to find that Dolan and find something to talk about, that'd be great. We've got the comments from last week. I've done it quicker than I anticipated I would have done.
Thanks.
So we've got the comments from last week's show. Tommy Lee here with one of the favourite comments I've ever seen. Tom Julian needs subbing. Just like Kodji, he's been rushed back too soon. Maybe 20 minutes here and there until his podcast
TJ was? I didn't know who TJ was.
Tom Julian?
They
couldn't do the math.
Some player.
No? Do you think he got JT the wrong way around?
No, because he doesn't need subbing. But,
no.
Yeah.
No, I think that's it. To be fair, your wish is our command, Tommy Lee, because TJ is not here, and Dolan's put in a very astute performance.
And I've been ill as well.
Yeah,
all week.
He likes to drop in that he's been ill this week. Cyberdon Blue, who regular commenter on, in fact, I think he comments on every video we do actually. So thanks a lot to Cyberdon for listening. He says, "Lol, absolutely loved it, fellas. Laughed heartily throughout. Don't feel down about your 3 and 5 on the little quiz, Dan. It was still a stunning performance. I was very upset by the squad numbers game last week.
Yeah.
Tom, did you listen back? Did you listen to it?
Yeah.
I thought that a couple of the ones he chucked in were completely unacceptable.
Because that was your forte, wasn't it, squad numbers?
Mate, it still is, but when you're throwing in youth players who didn't play...
Do you know what my forte is?
Fashion?
Boots.
What? You can tell me what...
pretty much tell you what football boots.
Anyone more?
Can
you tell me what Stephen Cook, Villa's number 29 from 2000 and
well,
2001 wore? That's exactly. I'm saying that's the equivalent of that's what he threw at me. How am I going to get that? I mean, the one account, to be fair, the guy, I guess, I can't remember who it was, and that was quite niche, he was wrong, but you reckon you've got that? All right, next time you're here, I'm going to prepare a little quiz.
Like, Matt Letitia, just in general.
No, not Villa.
Just in general.
Tonev, Alexander Tonev.
Nike.
Yeah, I'm going to check that. I'm going to go back through and check that. Why can you got
Letitia was Quasar.
Quasar, I remember them, yeah. Quasar, a good boot.
Dwight York.
What were your first pair of football boots? What boots did you have? Yours was Mizuno.
Mizuno.
Yeah.
Adidas, just the black and white.
Yeah.
Adidas.
I think I was New Balance. My dad got me some cheapies. He did not want to spend money. I think
Shearer was Umbro.
Yeah. I think my dad realised I wasn't a talent like him at football, and he thought, I'm not spending money on good boots. I'm just going to get him. I'm going to get him the cheapest pair from the shop I can. It might have even been high tech, and I don't even know if they were making boots properly in those days.
High tech.
Yeah, I think I had New Balance. New Balance is actually quite good now, though.
Quite good.
Ramsey wears them, doesn't he? Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's some interesting football boot knowledge coming up.
So next time I'm on, next time I'm back on,
I'll do it. You might be on next week, mate, because Tom Julian doesn't want to know.
We'll do a little football boot quiz
at the moment, and I've got a holiday coming up as well. I thought this was quite an interesting comment. The N Soul Man. The reason we're in the playoff positions is because Bruce, but the reason we're not in second place is also because of Bruce is his own worst enemy. And Bruce has kind of said that himself, that he's made a few selection errors in recent weeks. David Alford, let's get this straight. A fit codger walks into our 4-1-4-1. It would be perfect with Snodgrass, Grealish and Adoma feeding him. I like him on the left, but that's difficult because Adoma's playing on the left. That's where he came on the other night.
I don't think he can start this season. I think every player in that 11 is
he's not going to start.
Has had too much of a good season. You can't drop any of those guys at the minute. And what a player to bring on with half an hour to go.
Yeah,
on the left.
He showed a lot of flair in.
He looked good on Tuesday, didn't he?
Yeah, he did.
Looked quick and strong.
He did. Got here. Was a good performance and a good win. This is Aston Bicknell. Second is still doable if we do our business from now until the end of the season. If not, hopefully we'll take good form into the dreaded playoffs. Conor Horahan gets far too much stick from fans on Twitter. Has been class, and scoring 10 goals from central mid is a fantastic return. Agree with everything you've said there, Aston. Ryan M. Thompson, in my opinion, Reading were that bad. Made it look easy for us. Despite the result, I was kind of disappointed with the amount of chances we didn't make the most of it. Firstly, the crossing. Why cross aiming for Hogan to header? That's not what he's good at. It kind of fits in a little bit with what I was saying. And I think that's pretty much us done. for the old podcast, Dolan? Have you enjoyed being back in the hot seat?
Always flies by, doesn't it?
It does fly by. I find the first bit, you're talking and I worry about, oh my God, how are we going to keep going for another 45 minutes, 50 minutes? And then
boom.
You do always seem to manage it. I think the questions and the comments from the viewers and the listeners, they really, really help. So thank you very much for sending those in.
Yeah, there were some good ones today, wasn't there?
Yeah, really high standard of question today. It gives us something to talk about, and we really enjoy hearing what you all have to say. There will be a Norwich preview coming up that me and Dolan are about to film.
My first preview.
Is it your first ever preview?
Yeah.
Preview, Virgin, Chris Dolan on my left. I can't believe the time. I've just clocked the actual time. So yeah, it's going to be a late night, especially for Chris because he's got far to travel, but a late night for both of us. So
All in the name of Aston Villa.
All in the name of Aston Villa. So we'll be doing a Norwich preview shortly. That will be out sometime on Friday after this podcast has been released.
I actually feel sorry for Dan, really.
Yeah, Rollo.
He's the one that's got to stay up.
We're complaining. Rollo's going to be up till 3 a.m. Editing. So if you're not already a subscriber to the Villa View on YouTube, if you could do that, that would be absolutely fantastic. And please leave all your comments below. And if you are listening via the iTunes medium, if you could leave a 5-star review, if you are enjoying the podcast, that would be brilliant as well. Give the video a like on YouTube if that's your thing. Thanks ever so much for listening/watching. Thanks for Chris for joining me in the booth this evening. Hope you enjoyed it. Here's the 3 points for Villa on Saturday. Up the Villa. If you enjoyed that video, why not watch another? Click the video choices on screen now to go and watch them in full. Be sure to subscribe to the channel by clicking our logo there on the left. Easy peasy.